tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your number one source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, Under the Dome fans! Oh yeah, welcome to Season 2, Episode 11 here on the After the Dome After Show, talking about Black Ice! It's the name of the episode, and this AC/DC song. Yeah. I was hoping he was going to say Black Ice, but
not so much.
Not so much. We couldn't be bothered. So we're 2 episodes away from the end of the season. This was the anti-penultimate episode. The episode before the episode before the end.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. And it was like another big event episode, one the likes of which we haven't had in a while. Now the passage
crisis of the week.
Yes, passage out of the dome is closed up. We gotta raise the stakes for everybody involved. So we gotta make it super cold, and we're gonna have the dome rotate, and it's all frosty, and then it basically turns into an episode of ER.
Yes.
Which the former Neil Baer show, another Neil Baer run show, very much showing his influences on his sleeve here. And it's not the first time we've had an episode like that,
No.
where it turns into 2 sets of medical issues. Just we have more character stuff.
Do you feel like when Neil Baer pitched the season 2 arc, he was like, picture ER under a dome.
Under a dome. But then there's also a tunnel out of the dome, but then there isn't anymore. And once there isn't, then think about it more like ER.
And we set up triage right there.
Yeah. Now imagine ER in the Arctic. But it's not the Arctic. It's actually shot in Atlanta. But it's supposed to be Connecticut or Maine or something. Also, they're under a dome.
And there's a Prius that's chargeable.
And there's a Prius plug-in that is the best thing
Hold
that's
per
ever
shot,
happened
good
to
sponsorship.
all people.
Great.
Yes.
Close up on the logo.
They have been plugging that Prius, though, all season long.
But didn't we
My
notice
God.
the main theme of this episode, really, truly, is that fuel will always disappoint you and let you
Yes.
down. Yeah. But the power of the Prius plug-in
Electricity
will save us all.
Yep.
will win.
Yeah.
Quiet driver Prius.
Haven't you guys heard you can run homes for X amount of hours or days off the hybrid systems?
No, tell us
you
more.
can. I don't know enough about it. I don't drive one, but I've heard plenty of it.
Yeah.
Just working in the automotive world, that people always are talking about. Oh, my hybrid can power my home for X amount of time. I know there's somebody out there right now geeking out about yes, you can. I've done it. But supposedly you can literally turn into a generator for your home.
Cool.
I don't know how to do it, but I have heard of these.
Sweet.
Oh.
So someone should tell us about
Tell
it.
us about it.
And
All
when,
right.
since when did Chester's Mill have a plug for a Prius hybrid?
Yeah.
It's been out front
It's
the
a
high
fancy
school.
town.
Out in front of the high
The
school.
whole time.
The whole time.
Time.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump in. Let's talk about Barbie and Julia real quick. Well, at the top, we've got this ice dome. Okay, it's rotating. We've switched poles, perhaps, and the cold atmosphere that existed below ground because it's underground. There's no sun. Is now up top, and everybody's in danger. We might lose half the town. We might decimate all the crops. It's bad news.
Thank God the pigs are already
Yeah,
dead.
but don't you?
Oh,
But hey,
those
hey,
pigs.
don't go to the triage center. Come to the high school
Yes.
because it is the only set we have this year.
The clinic, the roof is caved in from that earthquake.
No,
so
forget about the clinic.
can't
The
go.
Season
it's
one.
it's all season 1. There's no more clinic.
That's why they couldn't afford the cabin.
Yeah. No more cabin. That's
the
why they
other
got a
cabin.
different cabin. That's why they got a different cabin.
Poor man's
But
cabin.
if you think about this season, I mean, they've been very effective in cutting costs by having really only 3 or 4 key sets. I mean, it's they kept Big Jim's house in the shelter. They kept Julia's house. They destroyed Joe's house.
Too much money.
And then it was just the school and the Sweetbriar. And that's every scene has taken place in one of those places.
Or on the road.
Or on the road somewhere.
We
doesn't cost anything.
were mentioning before we went on air how the show has not, CBS has not decided if they're picking up or dropping Under the Dome yet.
You better pick it back up.
Which is a little
CBS.
weird. I feel like most people know by now whether or not it's been picked up or not. But Matt was saying how cheaply this is made because Amazon is funding a giant portion of the cost.
So, I feel like we've discussed it before on this show, but Under the Dome is part of a very interesting and experimental exercise in cross-funding, where Amazon Prime gets exclusive access to the show 4 days after it airs in exchange for fronting a decent chunk of the production price of every episode. So it doesn't really cost a lot to produce this show on the part of the studio and the network, which is why it doesn't make sense to me that they haven't renewed it.
But how does Amazon make money off of it? Just because people playing it over and over again by getting Amazon Prime?
Amazon makes money off of it because they get a nice promotion after every single episode.
Sponsorship. And
Sponsorship,
whatnot.
and if people want to watch it, it's not available on iTunes. It's not available anywhere else.
Or
so if
CBS, you can't
right.
get
So
it
is
there.
Amazon Prime like Netflix?
Yes.
Yes, but
I have it.
You
Great.
also get free 2-day shipping on any Amazon
It's
purchase.
amazing.
It's the best.
But if you go, and I watch Under the Dome online, if you go to if you go to the website and it's more than 4 days after the episode is aired and you want to rewatch an episode, it'll just send you to Amazon.
Yeah, it's the only place where
complimentary?
you can watch it.
Well, I'm a
you have
Prime
Amazon
member,
Prime.
so
Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
can go back and watch.
Exactly.
there's
It's the
how they
only place that you can
encourage,
watch it. So because of that, it's getting Amazon Prime a level of attention that it does not receive from any other venue.
Right.
Because even their own original series are mostly known about from people who seek out high-quality television shows and will pay for extra channels to do it, or just Amazon users. So there's a whole audience out there that's being exposed to Amazon Prime just because they love this show. Yeah. So let's jump
Very
in.
smart.
Yeah. Let's jump into the episode. So we're gathering everyone at the school because it's the only place we can take care of everybody. And if everyone's in one place, we can all be warm together.
Snuggle.
And we
Body
can
heat.
consolidate the fuel use and the Jennies and all the stuff. So Barbie and Julia set off on a nice little romantic road trip
Wait,
down.
can we just say that nobody cared really that Phil died? I mean, I feel like everybody.
no one cared.
I
No
feel like
one's
everybody
mourning.
was Matt Lieberman here.
Yeah. Well, no. Oh no. Don't get Jackie. I cared a lot.
He cried.
I cared a
saw
lot
it.
from Joy because he should have died episodes ago. So I cared a lot that he died because it was a great thing. Thank goodness he died. But yeah, no one
Stalagmite
no
through the
one
chest.
gave even 1/10 of a crap.
No,
Yeah.
no. The episode just started, and there was like
Phil.
one mention in
Yeah.
one scene where they were like, well, Phil, poor Phil, that's what happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they
They're
moved
like,
on.
Phil's in jail. No, he's not. He's dead. Oh. Next scene.
Never mind, I guess.
Yeah.
What happened to the egg?
Yeah, exactly.
And have they
More
moved the
importantly.
body, or is he just down there?
He's just down there rotten.
Stinking it up.
Oh, stinky.
But I have to imagine that if the ravine or the passage is now gone, the caves are going to disappear too.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to start to fill in. Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially, yeah.
They're just
We'll
going to
talk
fill
about
in, and his body's just going to be lost in there.
Years later, when they dig it up, they're going to see the remains
Like,
of Phil.
how did anyone's body get this deep? Yeah,
Maybe
this
it's
is
a-
crazy.
Yes.
So Barbie and Julia set off down the road in the old ambulance for some reason to go pick up food from the Sweetbriar to bring to all the people at the school.
Yeah, why were they even taking the ambulance out?
I think it was their largest form of, like, it's their cargo truck. The
Right.
closest thing they have is, and remember they said later in the episode they'd pulled fuel from all the other vehicles. So probably, put it all together, and now let's just put it in the ambulance and we'll use it for medical reasons.
Because
and
it's
hauling
it's
food.
going to be the biggest one. It's going to be able to hold the most food.
The only
Okay.
thing I didn't understand was their reasoning behind how the food would go bad. Because I'm like, don't they just have a giant refrigerator now? Isn't
Yeah.
it better?
I
It
totally
might
agree.
freeze. You don't want it to freeze.
Your little freezer burn.
Yeah, it's gonna be all burnt, all be burnt up, and it's gonna shatter all the jars and such, all the jars and such. So yeah, it's good reasoning.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Rebecca.
So they hit a patch of, dare I say it, black ice. face. And I know it's very powerful.
But
I apologize.
before that,
it's the last
Julia-
time I'm gonna do it.
Julia makes the terrible decision of taking off her seatbelt and being like, I have to
Dumb.
strap the gurney down now. Why do you have to do that?
Weak. That was
Why?
weak.
And
Just
I was
pull over.
Yeah.
Why?
Why would you not just do it later?
Right.
When you get to the Sweet Briar.
Right.
What was the point?
Everybody knows that this episode means that you should wear a seatbelt.
Yes,
when you're in
that
the
is
car.
what this episode
That's what it's all about.
really is about.
Yeah, the
Look what
NHTSA
happens.
is a sponsor. It's not, but
You
still.
get a rod through the leg.
Yeah, you get a rod right through the leg.
You're going to
Yeah.
shoot your eye out, kid.
Next week, we'll see what happens when you text and drive the ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
If-
repaired.
Yeah, which I mean, they pulled all the insulation out of the walls, and
They're like
it's
little
probably
rats.
not. Yeah.
Put the insulation on.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God. So yeah, they're having this very romantic discussion. She gets this rod through the leg, and for a second I'm like, oh no, Julia's gonna bite it. This is exciting because I would never have seen this coming because Julia's
Not
hair.
exciting.
Julia's hair is about 20% of this show.
Absolutely. The volume, the curls, the color. How does the color make you feel, Amanda, being a redhead like Julia?
It makes me very happy that there's a prominent ginger on CBS primetime TV.
Well represented.
Yes.
I think personally, her hair makes me feel warm inside, and it gives me a reason to live on through the week
The
because
curls
I
of-
know I'll get to see it again.
Fire.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's what
And
I'm
because
saying.
we don't get to see Britt what's her last name? Robertson?
Britt Robertson.
Robertson. We don't get to see her hair anymore except for that last episode.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The show at this point is so dramatically slight in terms of characterization that her hair accounts for about 20% of the reason why we watch.
I love it when she's running and you see her hair.
Oh my God! And it
flowing.
just flows in the
the-
breeze.
Barbie.
Yeah, exactly. So it would have been a real shocker if they had gotten rid of her. And instead they didn't. Instead, it turned into triage where Barbie is just first of all, he's like, listen, we're gonna survive. We're gonna have love.
And you know what happens
Babies.
when hypothermia sets in? You
Your
don't
heart
lose as
stops.
much blood. How does he know that?
He's military man. He's
He knows
Dale
everything.
Barbie.
But
Yeah.
I would like to make an
mystery.
aside about what a big idiot Barbie is.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
When this happened, when she got stabbed in the leg, he should have just wrapped her up and ran to the Sweetbriar and then got the stuff that he needed and then came back. Because I saw no good reason for him to stay with her. And she's a big girl, and he's completely throwing logic out the window, which isn't normally his thing to do.
But-
And instead, he's like,
lost
let's
hope.
freeze to death.
They seem to get to the Sweetbriar pretty quick.
Right?
And
They're
why did he
close.
put her on the gurney and push it? It's just like when Julia ran to the water when Melanie popped up earlier. She's like, I will dive into the water instead of taking the boat, right? I will carry this woman
because-
or wheel her.
Because
Just saying.
there's black ice on that road, and he didn't want to.
slide her down like a sled, get on like a toboggan and go.
And actually, the exertion of like energy that he's doing and having her move through space, that might actually be better for them.
Warmth-wise.
point.
Instead of just saying, let's wait here and die. It made me so mad. I was like, Barbie, you're better than this.
Well, as she
Just
points it
blinded by
out,
love.
because Rebecca's like, something's wrong with Barbie. And Rebecca kind of, Julia has a moment of like, step off, B. Okay.
He's mine.
Yeah, I'll decide whether or not he's okay. But having said that, Barbie, what's wrong?
He's losing hope.
Losing hope.
He's very depressed.
Yeah, because we had a way out. We won't get another one.
His father has deceived him. He's
Yeah.
got a lot
And this
building.
scene would have been really sexy if she didn't have a stab wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, when that gurney was moving around, I thought they were going to stop off the side of the road and just have
They were
a
going to
nooner.
make those kids.
A nooner.
Yeah.
She said, if I didn't have this stick in my leg of metal, this might be the most romantic thing anyone's ever done for
she
me.
said it.
It was
Yeah.
still pretty romantic. I mean, they had burning petroleum.
Jelly.
Jelly. When he
Candle.
first found that can of petroleum jelly, I don't know what you guys were thinking.
I thought candle.
I
What-
did not
what
think
else would you
candle.
think?
I was
I don't
like,
know what
maybe
else they
he's
were gonna
making it
do.
more
Daddy had
sexy.
dry lips. Just some jelly on
What
the
is
lip.
this going to
Little
solve?
I do like that he promises her everything, though. He basically is like, if you get better, we'll have children and puppies and rainbows in
Yeah.
the future.
We'll
And
always
I'm
be
like,
together.
you can't support those. You're a soldier. And not
a
even a
murderer.
soldier, a murderer.
Just
Lest we forget the husband that you murdered.
But his dad is rich.
But maybe if they ever get out, then he'll be a hero.
True.
National hero.
My mic just got turned down.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
My ears are bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Oh, by the way, was that the first time Julia said she loved him back?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah,
That was beautiful.
I think so. Took a stab wound, but it happened.
Right?
She's going to take a stab at love.
Oh, pun intended.
Definitely.
Nailed it.
This is Under the Dome.
It was a near-death experience. She had to say it.
You have to. You don't
Yeah.
want regret.
I have
under the dome.
another concern that
What, Jackie,
after
what?
she gets the whole hypothermia thing and they bring her back to the Sweetbriar, and he's pulled the thing out of her leg, he basically doesn't sew up or wrap or do anything to her leg
Yeah.
whatsoever.
I think they were
So-
indicating it was like
So when
less
she
of
wakes
a puncture,
up,
right?
she should start bleeding out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he double looks. I thought that it was like, and he took the tourniquet off. Like, wouldn't you leave that on just to
sew it up and
Yeah,
then take it off.
yeah, I
he
guess-
did nothing.
just indicating that it wasn't as severe as they thought.
little-
No major artery was pierced.
a little less ER.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they could have used some ER character walk-ons, a cameo or two.
Yeah, Noah Wiley
George
should have
Clooney.
busted through that front door and been like,
I'll
wait!
save you.
Yeah.
How'd you get here? Don't worry about it.
I'm
And then
just in my
leave.
lab coat.
Yeah. Instead, we have Sam Camel Face.
Camel face.
I've been sitting on it all season. He
Is
looks
camel
like
face?
Why
Camel
is he a
face?
camel face?
Camel face. He looks like a damn camel. He looks like Joe Camel, except if he was lame instead of cool, and a murderer instead of, well, selling cigarettes to kids.
not cool.
He's a
Murderer.
bit sexy. I find him.
You find him
I
sexy?
find him rugged and a former EMT alcoholic lives in a cabin, killed a young girl way.
Tall, dark, and murderous.
Yeah.
He's
I think
mysterious.
Hunter's the new sexy man on the show.
He is. I don't
Yeah.
know
Nerdy
the
Hunter.
frostbite though.
Yeah, he
not as attractive
He
now.
betrayed the bad guys. He betrayed us, and then he betrayed the bad guys.
He's so confused.
He's a flip-flopper.
He's like Big Jim Rennie.
And he wants to bang a teenager.
Oh,
Oh,
that
we're gonna
Nori.
get into that in a minute.
How long till you're 18?
Yeah. So in any case, Barbie and Julia, everything's okay. Also, when that ceiling window shattered. And they were looking up through it. They looked like they were like two teenagers who just got caught, like underneath the covers.
Hands in the air.
yeah.
Under the covers, under the dome, under
Yeah.
the stars.
Okay, I just want to talk really quickly about iTunes before we keep going. Folks, we say it every week. Why? Because it's important. Go to iTunes and rate and review the show. Rate and review any of the shows here on AfterBuzz TV that you watch or that you listen to.
Watch it on your iPhone 6.
Yeah, or your
Yes.
iPhone 6 Plus, or your Apple Watch Edition.
What?
The Watch
are they
Edition,
saying
which
about Under the
18
Dome?
karat gold. Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
do not own that.
That's the sexy new watch. That's the new hotness
Hey,
they announced
hey.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please do it. It really helps us out here at AfterBuzz TV. It's how we get our sponsors. It's how we get guests on our shows. And it's how people find it. It's easier to find when there's more ratings and more reviews. So keep them coming. Thank you.
And I love that the people who are commenting are often saying that they love us more than the show, which is
It really means a lot.
And we love
compliment.
you.
Dang.
It goes both ways.
And Twitter's fun. Thanks for all the feedback.
Yes.
I love watching and seeing what everyone's tweeting out. So
Yeah. Great.
it's great. We love it.
All right. So, Junior, he's sad. Why? Melanie's nearly
he's
dead.
Junior.
And because he's Junior.
His next almost girlfriend is
Oh, I
dying.
fell in love with a corpse. Oh, never again.
No. Damn it, Junior. I told you, never fall in love with a corpse.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
Junior's mode is just brooding all the time. He's
Yeah.
got to be brooding, man.
Oh, I'm just a sucker for love with doomed young girls.
And I'm mad at my dad. Ooh.
And yeah, so Melanie is close to death because the egg is outside
Wait
and
a
people
second.
are
I just
screwing with
made a
it.
connection. Sorry to
What?
interrupt you, but like
What?
his mom, he thought she was dead. Then he's with a dead girl, kind of dead. And then Pauline comes back, and now, ooh, I don't know.
He needs therapy. Once he gets out of the
Yes.
dome,
He
he'll
needs
write a
therapy
book.
now.
He
There's
sees
gotta
dead
be
girls.
one.
There's got to be a therapist. Check the census.
Yeah, no, third season, we're introducing a therapist.
Dun dun dun. Just
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
No, let's introduce a therapist so we can force some character development.
You got Dome Jesus, you got the scientist, now we need a therapist.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you
Perfect.
like, though, how they just now make the connection between Melanie and the egg? I'm like, wouldn't you have made that last episode?
No.
I mean-
That's a good point.
Because she was so tied to
Yeah.
that even from the beginning
Wait
when
a
they dropped the egg in the
Right.
water and then she
You
was born.
dropped an egg in the hole, and then an earthquake happened because of that?
Didn't they already
That's
acknowledge
when
it, though?
Melanie was a sad.
Like when they dropped in the water
And
the
that's when Melanie
second
started
time, or they
having
brought
her
it up,
problems.
They resurrected the egg.
huh.
They only brought up the connection to Melanie as far as like saying that Melanie is sick now that the egg has gone down the hole. It's like, but you should have brought that up last episode. When she's
teenagers.
I
starting to
still
get
don't know
sick.
why she's alive.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
I thought she
'Cause-
would be
right.
dead for
Alive
sure. Dead.
slash dead
Yeah.
slash alive.
Yeah.
The same way that
confusing.
Hunter's confused as to why they were able to move the egg around the dome,
Right.
and the dome
Really good
didn't move
point.
with it.
Right, because
Yeah.
they used to think it was at the epicenter of it. And when the guy's touching him with the tongs in that playground,
Still
like,
get shocked.
yeah, I just
A
so
la
the egg
Big
has
Jim.
potential outside of the dome.
It's
Potential?
screaming. It's not happy.
It has potential.
I wrote
that egg has potential.
the egg is outside the dome and it doesn't want to make friends.
It's true.
It's a bad egg.
It's a bad egg.
Hey.
You better not hang out with that boy. That boy's a bad egg. So, so Junior, he also lets his father know that he knew about Mom being alive for a week. And I didn't tell you, Dad, because you ruin everything, you big dumb jerk.
Such language.
Ouch.
That
Yeah,
hurts.
so painful. And
Stop meddling in my business.
Sam's
Dad.
trying to keep her alive. He's around. I don't care about Sam. We're not going to talk about Sam again. All right.
Sam.
So, Pauline and Jim. She really lets him have it at the top of this episode. 'Cause
She lets him have it throughout the entire episode, and it seemed a little bit, at this point, like, you understand that there's some sort of friction there, and they've established it, but when it happened continuously throughout the episode, I was like, okay, Pauline, seriously, we get
But
it.
I
You need
feel
to
like
back
she
off.
made points that needed to be voiced aloud the entire series. Namely, like, especially connecting it back to football and like the story that he told in season 1 and how, like he needs to be the person who made a touchdown. He can't be the person who helps out in a small way. He needs to be the person who saves the day. And he doesn't care. He says it's for other people, but it's ultimately about how he'll feel taking care of those other people.
Mm-hmm.
He threw that egg over because he thought he was going to save the day and he wanted her to love him more because he was helping. Not because she needed it. He didn't trust her. He didn't do any of that. He didn't care about anybody. And also he says he was going to get the whole town out. That's a lie. He was going to get the
He's
three of
still
them out.
lying to himself. Like he absolutely needs to just come to terms with who he really is.
He needs therapy.
He's a bad egg.
You know what he also needs is when he goes in the frigid below zero weather,
To zip
he
up his
needs
coat?
to wear gloves
And a hat to cover up that
Nobody
dome.
ever
His
does on
coat.
TV. They're all like, I have a coat on, but I never thought to zip
doesn't
it.
like 90% of your body heat escape
Yes.
through your head?
Yes.
Yeah,
They say-
earmuffs,
Yep.
gloves, come
Or
on.
we
The
need
to keep
extremities.
We know that in this town there are a bunch of abandoned homes where you can get those things, and it's not like they live in Southern California. They live in an area that supposedly
East
has
Coast.
climate.
Stealing,
So-
Jackie? Stealing?
Yes.
This is Chester's Mill.
I'm saying you should raid
Big Jim.
houses and give everybody gloves and hats.
I would
Yes.
never
Happen.
steal.
It's
Only
too-
let
I'm
people
on her
die.
page.
It's 2 degrees.
Take the Prius and fill it up with warm
Yes.
clothes.
Yes.
Just saying.
Oh my god, I loved it. When she was like, here, take the Prius, it's all charged up. Oh no, the generators have all died. Good thing we have that Prius. God.
And,
Where would we be
sponsorship.
without this electric vehicle? God save the electric
Why does
queen.
the
Made
town
by-
get to ride Julia's car like a whore? It's not fair.
Like a horse.
Oh,
They don't ride it like a whore. They ride it like a horse.
horsepower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, electric
Toyota.
horsepower.
I do believe it's 134 horsepower.
Is Julia
Just
okay
saying.
with this? I mean, really?
Yeah, she gave it to Rebecca.
She's very
it's all
giving.
fine.
She's the monarch.
Pauline knows Becky pretty well. They have
right, that was nice,
some
huh?
kind of past.
And it goes
Interesting.
way back because she's like, I don't go by Becky anymore.
So
Well, she was just in the town, I guess.
I
Maybe she's
also-
from Junior.
I choose to believe that, like, if they're gonna drop a line like that, it does mean that they have some sort of past. And I
Yeah.
also choose to believe that by her saying, "Oh, I don't go by Becky anymore," it could be a throwaway thing, or it could be her. She tried to reinvent her personality by being
Ooh.
Rebecca.
Ooh, interesting. Maybe she wasn't always Miss Scientist. Maybe she was once, the
Party girl?
teen strumpet. Yeah,
Strumpet?
strumpet.
What does that mean?
It's party girl.
Oh, okay.
Floozy.
Strumpet.
Yeah.
Hashtag strumpet.
Hashtag
like
It's going to be
strumpet.
trending.
But also, lest we forget, at the top of the season, Big Jim was going to put the moves on Rebecca Pine, and we thought that she felt similarly towards Big Jim. So it could also be a little bit of like, ooh, this is awkward. Hi. Yeah, you babysat me when I was a child, and then like, I was gonna sleep with your husband because I
didn't.
thought you were dead,
about
and I'm
it.
only like, I don't know, 7 years older than your son. It's a little weird, but
I teach science.
I teach science.
I'm not Becky anymore.
I'm
calling me that.
Stop calling me Becky.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So, Jim, in yet another, this is self-sacrifice, but it's really not.
Never is.
He just wants to be loved. He takes the Prius plug-in and he goes looking for fuel. And he goes out to the docks, which should be the coldest place yet because it's out on the water, right?
Sans hat.
Sans hat. And he's rooting through. He finds a couple of fuel cans, and there's Lyle flapping around the water.
Help! I'm Lyle. Help!
Lyle should have died
And
in that water.
he should have been dead.
He should have, when he popped up from his time-space continuum adventure,
Right.
he should have died in moments.
But he was in the fire.
Lyle is
The waves of
indestructible,
fire.
guys.
Yeah.
Lyle
Waves
is
of fire everywhere.
On the fire. It's on the
Destroying
it's on the fire.
everything.
It's in the cards. It's in the
Where
cards.
are you
it's in
gonna
the
be
cards,
at
it's
the
in
end of the
cards.
world, Jim?
Yeah.
But I definitely thought Jim was going to leave him out there.
Totally.
Just like he did to
I did
Maxine's
too.
I was
mom.
like, yes.
Game over.
But then I guess it was kind of like, he can't do the same thing twice. But then, so earlier in the
But, yeah.
episode, he asked Pauline, do you love him? Do you love Lyle? And I almost
narcissist.
want her to be like, yes, because then I could be like, ew! Ew! Ew!
She loves
Actually,
Lyle and
no.
his
At the
nappy hair.
same time, it would have been even better if she had just gone, ew, ew,
Really? Did you see his hair?
Really? Lyle?
Yeah.
Pity friend.
God.
He's safe, but he is not sound. And yeah, so while he was gone from the planet, he had a vision of the future, waves of flames destroying everything all around.
Everything.
Yeah, which once again leads us back to the dome is here to protect us. It's here to
What-
protect us because everyone else, it's Judgment Day.
When Pauline drew that painting, wasn't she drawing flames?
Yes.
Which painting?
The painting in the last
The
episode.
very last
Okay.
one, the egg was screaming. But here's the thing, too, is rescuing someone doesn't necessarily mean, like, maybe they all burn up under the dome because it's the best thing for, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what we perceive to be the best thing for a society may not actually be. You know, according to the dome's rules. Like,
Very
maybe Steve
philosophical.
does. Well, like, if you, Showtime's The Leftovers. If anyone could just season.
No spoilers.
HBO.
No spoilers. Sorry, HBO. On HBO. Love that show. I'm
It's
just
the best
saying,
show.
like, if you
It's
watch
the
that
best
show, you
show
know what
on
I mean?
TV.
Like, it's never what you expect. Same thing, heaven, hell. I'm just saying, maybe they burn all the inside.
All I'm saying is, I don't know what kind of technology angels have.
High tech.
Okay?
High
I don't think
tech.
they have technology, they have magic. And I don't think,
It's
at this
iPhones.
point, I don't think the dome is magic. I think it's some
you
kind of weird
believe in
technology.
I think it is a weird technology or
Yeah.
alien technology.
Yeah,
Alien
I always thought it was
technology.
connected to aliens.
I want more alien action. I kind of miss all
Or
the alienness.
throwing it out there. Humanity in the far future, after the disasters completely claim the entire Earth, a small band of humans living deep within the center of
That's
the Earth's
what it
crust sent something back in time to protect one community so that they could prosper.
Boom. Third season just happened.
That is amazing.
That could be it.
That could be cool. Oh God.
Back
Does
to
that
the
mean we
future
get-
reference.
Can we
That's
get
why they had
gnomes
that.
now? Can
I'm-
we get gnomes?
I literally just
Little Phil gnomes.
I just spit because I got so excited. I'm sorry.
She did. It's
I
in
did.
my eye.
I just, Hunter made that Back to the Future reference.
Yeah.
So maybe that is Back to the Future.
We're going to talk about Back to the Future
And-
and Hunter in a second. I just want to talk about Pauline and Melanie get to have a little catch-up sesh where Melanie's like, Pauline,
bitch.
you bitch. Like, and also, right, like, by the end of it, they were like all friendly again, haha. And I'm like, no, Melanie, you came back from the dead. You do not forgive. You do not forget. Your best friend watched you die and then covered it up. Okay? So don't you dare forgive her. And of course she did, because it's under the dome and everyone is so inconsistent. It drives me
But
nuts.
maybe she didn't mean it.
I
But
don't
the
think-
way Pauline was talking about this event in this episode, it made me feel like she had more to do with her dying than previously thought.
Yes, I would go with that.
Interesting.
Like maybe
possible.
she, encouraged them to push her in.
maybe there's a whole
other
thing.
I don't
side of
think
that
so. I
night.
think she was just screaming. She was holding her head and screaming because the egg was making noise and it
Making
was
your head
screwing
hurt.
with her head.
So is Pauline evil then, and Melanie's good? You know what I mean? Like, why would it make one person's head scream and then the other one's like, no, we have to protect it?
I don't know. I don't know at all.
I don't know.
It
but
could also be the other way around, where Pauline is the good one. She was hurt by the evil of this egg, and Melanie's the evil one, and that's why she came back as a gosh darn ghost person.
Why
Egg
do we
haunter.
think the egg and Melanie are so connected? Do you have any theories?
Because they're friends. Because she was the first person to touch it.
Yeah.
She was the first person to touch it, and they bonded to each other. It was the first bit of human. It was the first DNA that it received after landing on the planet.
You're just pulling us out of thin air, and
Yes,
I love it.
It's amazing.
What?
But it's a
Matt
good. It's a
Lieberman.
good idea.
It's pretty rock solid.
Yeah.
What else might happen? I'm still
Think
curious.
about this. Think about this, Amanda. Okay.
Okay.
Think about this.
I'm thinking.
So, this thing falls to Earth as part of a meteor, okay? It busts open. The first organic matter that it touches is a living being. It starts to process that information. It immediately, psychically bonds with the thing in an attempt to stay alive. This egg is trying to stay alive.
Like,
So,
it thinks that she's its mother.
yeah,
Kind of thing.
or just like it's a symbiotic relationship. You know, it's in order to stay alive, this thing has to want to keep me safe. Okay, so you know, Melanie at the same time is offering all this information to this person, and then to this egg, and then Melanie's life is cut short, and the egg disappears. Right? Melanie's life is cut short, so the dome is given a mission. It says, these things that tried to protect us can also hurt us. So we need to protect the good ones. And that's why it's talking to certain people and has missions for certain people, these good people, and it's trying to protect them from bad people. But at the same time, it didn't want Big Jim to die.
But I'm also wondering, what is this egg holding? Like, what's in the egg?
The
And where
nucleus?
did it come from? Because there are things they haven't answered yet.
An alien chicken.
Aliens of the deep future or gnomes, perhaps.
That would make Jackie
Gnomes.
happy.
Yes. All right. So I just want to talk about Nori and Joe and Hunter. Now, first of all, Joe's shirt. Joe knows nothing about Spuds MacKenzie, the original party animal. Come on. Okay? So he's wearing this shirt ironically, and it is a cool shirt, and I want it because I know about Spuds MacKenzie, but he does not. Speaking of inconsistent characters, Joe, once again, smart this episode.
Yes.
He's just
very.
like dumb, smart, dumb, smart.
It's like the stock market of Joe.
And it's ridiculous. It's the same way that, like, Big Jim's good, now he's bad, and he's still bad. But now he might be good, but no, he's bad. He's always bad. Why did we even think he was good? But then he's good. No, he's not good. It's over and over and over and over again. The inconsistency is what drives me insane.
It's the dough.
Yeah.
And then it's frustrating because you feel like you want to learn more about the characters, and you get this story, like you get her and Big Jim have Pauline and Big Jim have an opportunity to talk about their past, but you don't have that all the time.
Do you
and
think
I wish
that
they did that.
Maybe
Yes.
some of the characters are representative of like bigger groups of people, and they're like archetypes on the show. That
Politicians who can't decide on things.
No, politicians know how to do everything.
Yeah. Haven't you seen House of Cards? He figured out how to.
Yeah,
I was
it's on
gonna
TV,
spoil
it's
it.
No
real.
spoilers.
I was gonna
Ah!
spoil it. Yeah.
Don't
I
do
haven't
it.
seen it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hunter is also not very intelligent.
No,
Okay,
he's
bad
not.
guy who leaves all your bad guy stuff in your
Cover
bad guy
your
bag.
tracks.
Doesn't delete any of his text messages.
Keeps the papers even written on there. I was like, you couldn't have thrown it
Has a
out.
Windows phone.
What tech guy has a Windows phone?
Seriously, there are no apps in that app store. Oh, we're jerks. All right, but yeah. So Joe and Nori and Hunter, they go and examine the dome now that it's getting cold, and Joe touches it, and his hand freezes to it like a tongue on a pole. And
And I was
getting
like, go
dragged.
get some hot water.
He's getting dragged down. We find
Pee
out
on
that
it.
the dome is rotating. It looked like it was just coming down.
Yeah.
But Joe,
Straight
that was
down.
like, okay, again, so you have Joe being smart in elements of this episode, but it's like, Joe, you should know better than to stick your hand to a cold thing
Yeah.
and that it will stick.
He hasn't been in school in a while, so he's probably
No,
forgot.
he's been in that school every goddamn day. He's been in that school every day this season.
But I did like when he ripped it off. I was like, so
Yeah.
at least they were like, let's put blood on it.
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
And it
you
was
ever
a
stuck
parallel
your
to the
tongue to
first
something?
episode.
It's awful when you pull it off.
It's painful.
I've never done it, but I can imagine.
For real, if you ever do it and you get stuck, have someone urinate
Yeah.
on it.
Because it's
Oh.
hot.
Just
Because
saying.
it's hot.
That's
It
the
comes
quick
out.
reason.
It comes
There's
out
a lot
piping
of
hot.
survivor tips in this episode.
Did
like
that happen
petroleum
to
and
you?
cotton. I cannot comment if that happened to me or not.
Someone peed on your tongue.
I don't know if I'm not saying if I was a recipient or the assistant.
Oh, okay. Well, this is how you know.
Under the dome.
There was a situation.
See, so
But
Hunter.
no, wait, sorry, we have to finish this because if you were the assistant, that would bring you dangerously close to sticking your parts to the cold surface.
You can stay a few feet back, and even as a woman, have a relative spray
There
spectrum.
is a stream.
Enough warm temperature of fluid to help the situation.
Bringing you survivor skills here on AfterBuzz TV.
And that happened
Fantastic.
when I was little, waiting
Okay.
on the bus,
All right.
whatever. Okay,
Oh.
so Hunter.
Hunter conspicuously asking tons of questions, disappearing for long periods of time, and he brought no clothes with him.
He's silly.
He's silly.
Well, you
I didn't pack for my trip to
He
the
too
lake.
could have raided other homes.
Yeah.
But I digress.
He and Rebecca, I thought
Right.
for a moment we're about to have the first moment that leads to their blossoming romance, but instead we pan over to Pauline and Melanie because that's more interesting than watching these two bang, apparently.
It's CBS. They can't bang.
Yeah.
They could just touch parts.
Yeah, I don't get it. Rebecca is such a beautiful woman.
she
needs
gets
a
nothing,
romantic
and
partner.
they make her look kind of like
Schleppy. She's
schleppy
kinda-
every
yeah, that's a word.
episode.
I disagree.
It's like, well,
She doesn't have Rebecca. She doesn't have Julia hair.
She's not-
but they're
Julia,
also
she's
putting her
beautiful.
like
Mighty
Julia. They
fine.
give her the better clothes, and they're doing
Yeah.
her hair up.
Rebecca
They
because
Pine-
she's a goddamn movie star.
She's
I was
Julia.
in the first two Twilight movies. Okay? Back when we were shooting New Moon, the director, he said, David Slade, damn it, he directed Eclipse. Why do I know so much about
Great.
the directors of the Twilight movies? Man. All right, anyway.
Victoria, running through the forest. She's good with running and the hair. All her
She loves
appearances
to
on
run.
TV
She
and
loves
It's
film.
hair.
entire reel. Her entire acting
It's just
reel is
running
the
with the
flipping
hair.
and the
I
running.
just don't like how Rebecca's so beautiful, but they make her look so schleppy.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And
Yeah, and you can be smart and beautiful.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So,
Like this panel to
Nori,
my left.
I don't even remember what Nori goes to do. And she's like upset, and Hunter's like, Joe, you should go with her, man.
You're a good boyfriend for
And
once.
he's like, no, you go with her. And at first I'm like, this schmo. I hate you, Joe. You
like,
don't deserve her.
Rebecca told me to check for drafts in the windows.
And I'm
all
just
around
like,
the
oh,
school.
what a terrible excuse. You just don't want to spend time with her. You say you love her, blah, blah, blah. But no.
Boom.
He lures him away. Smart.
Yeah.
To look through his stuff.
So good.
Smart.
I cheered for him. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
Joe. Because I
And
booed him.
He
10
finds his
seconds.
notebook and he finds out what he's been saying to the people on the outside.
Because Hunter is the worst bad guy ever. He's
Horrible.
the worst spy ever. How did he manage to do all because he's spying on the company, but he works for the
He's
company?
much better behind the screen.
Yeah, he's
Behind
a
the
nice
screen,
guy
not
hacker.
behind
He's
the
a
enemy
white
lines.
hat. He's a white hat hacker.
He's just,
yeah.
A white hat hacker?
White hat is what bad internet people called nice people who do the right thing.
By still hacking.
Yeah, because it's like in an old Western, the hero would wear a white hat and the bad guy would wear a black hat. So you know who was who.
Oh.
It's why Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars film wears white and Darth Vader is dressed in all black.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I needed to know that because
Until
I
he
did not
becomes
know.
a Jedi, and then
he
wears
wears
black.
Dun, dun, dun.
To complicate things. In any case.
What about gray? I have a gray shirt on, so I asked. Okay, moving
It's
right
all
along.
in black and
too
white.
Here,
There's
guys,
no
we gotta
gray
get
area.
into this, and then we gotta
Yes.
wrap it up. So
Let's do it.
After things start to chipper up and everything's fine, or even before that, let's just talk about Nori and Hunter in the stairwell together. Weird energy.
Yes.
She said too much.
She said
Yes.
too much.
Oddly sexual energy.
Oddly sexual energy. He's at
That's
least
coming.
25. She is 16. Yeah.
But in real life, maybe they're closer in age, and there's something going on off camera.
There's still something called not legal.
And yeah.
When you're writing the character to still be at high school age, right?
Hello, season 3. Just putting it out there. They're just in casing their storyline. Just in case we do a third season.
But they might not put Hunter in jail under the dome, so he's thinking maybe the dome will be okay with this.
Does your
And,
humming mean you don't agree, Matt? Matt, what's happening over there?
I just don't want it. I don't want it to happen. As
don't
much
either.
as I hate Joe, I don't want that to happen.
No.
In any case, they follow Hunter out to the dome, and they discover that he's talking with the military guy with the laptop. And he tells them something, and they're like, What did you say? You're bad. He's like, no, look, see, I told them not to mess with the egg because it could mean catastrophic things for Zenith. I lied to them so that we can all be friends. And they're like,
And
okay.
I want Melody to survive.
Yeah, I want Melanie to survive. And yeah, and that's
But
And
then the dome
also-
started to move.
But then
Also,
the
I
dome
want
starts contracting.
Nori to hump me.
Yeah. The dome starts contracting, which I believe, Amanda, you predicted last week.
I did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bless you.
Bless you, Phil. Phil's our engineer and producer.
I don't know why I thought that would happen, but I mean,
But
come
you
on.
were
I have
so
to
right. Of course, it had to happen sometime. So, yeah, let's go into predictions.
Dun, dun, dun. Did you like that? You can
did.
use that.
I liked
you can
it.
use
And
that. if you
now,
wanna-
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, real quick. 4 hands. What's going to happen next week on Under the Dome? The dome's getting smaller. We see Melanie fall down a hole. But maybe it's a good thing.
sinkhole.
She probably just falls down to, like her grave where she's supposed to be because she's dead.
Or is it a way out to Zenith again?
Maybe. I don't know. What do we think?
I don't have a prediction. I have a fun nugget that was left there for book readers. Hunter quickly mentions Little Bitch Road, which is an actual road on the map in the book, and I just thought it was fun. It was nice.
It's the most exciting thing about the town before the dome.
Well, they've deviated so much from the book that I was like, I remember. It was based on a book.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if I even heard him right when he said the name of that road. I was like, did he just say that word? What?
On
So
CBS?
you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Yeah. Well, dome's getting smaller. I wonder if this is, dare I say it, really the time that Big Jim starts to turn a new leaf.
This time for real.
This time for real, because he had a sweet scene with Pauline, which was like the quietest acting he has gotten to do on this show ever, which was great. Hopefully that happens. I want Joe to die. I want Joe.
No.
I want
Joe.
Nope.
I want
Represents
him
the
dead.
good of Chester's no.
Nope.
Come
I
on.
want him dead.
Nope, not happening. Because next week there's going to be a big fire and Joe will not die. He will use my
But
tip.
where is the fire?
I think it's-
Outside?
Well, she said, remember she said the barometric pressure is going up, so when your barometer rises, you have heat coming.
It's starting.
So I think it's going to get really hot, and people are going to say, like, and maybe the lake will dry up into like a salt flat or something, and maybe then they'll discover a new way out. Nailed it. You're welcome.
Maybe that's where Melanie is when she's sinking down the middle of the lake where she
I don't
first
know.
came up.
I don't know. I'm pretty
Oh my
excited.
God,
I don't know.
I'm getting too
All
excited.
right.
I'm going to knock over the
Folks,
television.
That's going to be all for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of the Under the Dome After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We'll be back next Tuesday night with an all-new episode. Amanda, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Runway Queen.
Okay, and Jacque Borowski.
At 123 Jackie_B on Twitter, at 123 Jackie B, all one word on Instagram.
And you can find me on Twitter at Comedia Carrie. That's COMEDIACARRIE. And you can check me out on AfterBuzz TV for Legends.
Okay, and you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman, MATTLIEBERMAN. You can also find all my videos for SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd on YouTube. We just won a Streamy Award for Best News Show on YouTube. It's very exciting. So if you like news with a bit of comedy, come check us out. We do a lot of fun stuff over there. Also doing a bunch of shows here. Ray Donovan, Doctor Who, The Nick, The Strain with Jackie, and Sleepy Hollow's coming back with Jackie too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much. See you next week. Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.